And so I wanted to welcome you to the very first day of the Know Thy Star, Know Thy Planet 2 conference. I am David Ciardi. I am the Deputy Director of the Exoplanet Science Institute. And I'm really excited to start the conference with just a few opening remarks before we get into the science talks. So first of all, without a doubt, as with every single conference, none of this could have happened or taken place without the enormous amount of work done by the local organizing committee especially, and of course the science organizing committee for putting the program together. A special thank you to all the speakers who agreed to give a talk, and a giant shout out to the group of people who actually made this conference take place. I just want to, as a note, this conference is hosted by IPAC. IPAC is a science center located on the Caltech campus, and we're involved in a variety of projects from both NASA, the National Science Foundation, private sources, international partnerships, and the NASA Exoplanet Science Institute is part of the whole IPAC Science Center infrastructure. And if you have any questions about how a science center works or what it's like to work at a science center or be part of that kind of environment, especially for those of you who are starting off your careers, please come find somebody who's part of the local community, and we'd be happy to tell you more about IPAC and what we do, and all the things that are part of working at a science center, including hosting conferences. So, as you all know, Southern California was affected very severely by a set of wildfires earlier in January, and it was no easy task to decide whether or not this meeting should go forward, given the impact on our community. We spent a lot of time working and engaging with the local community, the hotels, our scientific community, and try to figure out whether or not to move this meeting forward. In the end, as you know, because you're sitting here, we decided to host the meeting. And we really want to thank you all for not only supporting the conference, but by being here in Pasadena and being here in Southern California, you're actually supporting the local community, helping local businesses get back up on their feet. And so it really does mean a lot to us and the community that you are here and participating in the conference. If you have any questions or concerns about the fires or whatever, please feel free to reach out to any and all of us. We're happy to discuss with you. And if you do feel like that you wish to help donate to the relief organization, I put a QR code with the URL to the LA Direct Relief Fire. There are many places where you could donate. This is just one for which you can. Do not feel like that you have to. I just thought that if you felt like it, I would help you along that path. All right, let's get to the science, the motivation. Why are we actually holding this? So I am super curious. This is the second conference with this name, and I'm curious in this room, not everybody who's registered is here, but how many people in this room were at the first meeting in 2017? Okay, that is spectacular. That is like a handful of people. Right? Even if it's double, that means that most of you were not at the 2017 conference, which means you cannot give me crap for that meeting not having coffee. All right, so this was one of the first meetings that was ever organized around the stars, even though we were talking about exoplanets. And we all understand that the stars, as the host of our planets, are super important to our understanding. And so we wanted at that time to really concentrate on the effects of the stars on discovery and maybe some kind of light characterization. But in the intervening time between 2017 and now, the field has just exploded in terms of its ability to characterize planets, to characterize systems, to do demographics, and all of that is influenced by the presence of the stars, both in a good way and a bad way. And so that really led us to really wanting to hold a second conference to help deal with all of the explosion that our community has gone through. We were originally going to hold this meeting somewhere around 2021, 2022. We all know what happened in 2020, and that pushed this off to now. And so 8 years later, we are finally into the second Know Thy conference. And so the motivation was to really to have this conference be in step with what the community is actually doing. And so we really wanted to have a second conference. And in reality, what really happened is we had actually promised a second conference. And this is a quote from the summary of the conference back in 2017. We decided not to go with Revenge Thy Star, Revenge of Know Thy Star as the title, but the emphasis is still the same. And I would like to point out, and this is very specifically for Heather Siegler, we have coffee at this meeting. For those of you who don't know, I'll explain the not coffee at that meeting at another time over a glass of wine or beer, or maybe even over coffee. All right, so as a reminder, I'm not going to go over this. You all agreed to a code of conduct to behave professionally during this meeting. If there are any issues, please either contact me or Catherine Clark, who's sitting over here. Please raise your hand, Catherine, or Heather Siegler, who's my co-chair for the SOC. Excuse me, or you can email that email list or that email directly. Hopefully this will not be of use, but if there is a problem, please let us know and we'll try to handle it in the best way that we can. All right, restrooms, just as a note of point, this is kind of a weird building. There are restrooms upstairs. There are stairs like out there that go up. There's like 30 stairs to the next floor. If you are not comfortable with stairs, especially that many, there is a more easily accessible bathroom. You have to go out and go around to the side of the building, and there's a door at the side of the building, and there's a set of bathrooms which don't require stairs. Or there are bathrooms at where the posters are located across the way. All right, speaker instructions. So this is kind of important a little bit. This is a hybrid meeting in the sense of we are broadcasting on Zoom and recording, which means that each of the speakers needs to be at a microphone. So either you have to use the podium microphone or you have to use the lapel microphone. And so as we swap speakers, we'll figure all that out. But also note that if you're using the podium speaker, you cannot wander away from the podium. And if you're using the lapel microphone, please do not go past the neon purple line, because then that moves you out of the view of the camera, because this is all being recorded and being broadcasted on Zoom. So please stay sort of in this area. And if any of the speakers really don't want to be recorded, please let me know ahead of time. The clicker is kind of weird. The top button, you have to press it and hold it for a second, and then a red light will come on. And the reason this is useful is people on Zoom can see the pointer. So just be patient as a speaker to press the button and hold it. Okay. All right, the posters are across the way, that way. That's also where the coffee breaks will be. If you were at the reception last night, it's at the same place. If not, at the break, just follow the herd of people and you'll find it. We do request that you respect the bell when we ring the bell so that you can have time to come back and get going so we can get the sessions started. The sessions are very full. It's 5 days of working together and exchanging information, so please try to respect the bell as best you can. There's wireless information. This is in the Slack channel as well. We can share this if you don't have it, but if you have EduRoam, it connects really quickly, or otherwise you have to go through the Caltech Visitor Network in general. Just 2 quick advertisements. The Explain the Science Institute is involved in 2 meetings, one of which is the Habitable Worlds Observatory meeting, which is going to be held in Washington, D.C. this summer. Abstracts are due on Monday. And so if you're interested in habitable worlds, especially from the point of view of stars and exoplanets, this is probably a meeting that's of interest to you. And more to the heart of what NextEye does, our Sagan Summer Workshop this July is the 25th Silver Jubilee. It's unbelievable that we have done 25 of these, and we are concentrating on exoplanet demographics across all of the variety of techniques that we use. to detect planets. Registration for this should open later today or early tomorrow morning. So if you're interested, have questions, please feel free to come and ask us. And then finally, we have an extraordinarily full agenda. And so I'm really excited by the program that the SOC has put together. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to swap over, and Heather Siegler is going to chair the first session. And we're going to get Dan Huber ready to go. So thank you, everybody, and really enjoy the conference. Welcome to wonderful Pasadena. The rain will come on Tuesday and Wednesday, so enjoy.